Engaging heaven today. Let's get it. Samuel answered, "Speak, for your servant hears." 1 Samuel 3:10. The Father designed us to hear His voice. There is something embedded in humanity that longs for a relationship with God. When Eli was a prophet, the Bible says the word of the Lord was rare in those days. There was no widespread revelation. Why would that be? Was it because God wasn't speaking, or because His people weren't listening? God ended up bypassing Eli, and He spoke to a boy named Samuel. Samuel was spending time with Jesus. The more we listen to God, the more we grow accustomed to His voice. And learning to hear His voice is crucial for living. If you want to know what God is saying, start with reading His Word. Instead of longing to hear a prophet word from God, you'll have one long, never-ending, all-inspiring prophetic word. He might speak to you in a dream, as in a voice in your heart, or even louder. But if you sit in God's presence often and calm your mind to listen, He will speak to you. In my opinion, we live in a world where everybody needs to be confirmed and to be accepted. The problem is that people are seeking these things in the world and not in God Himself. See, everybody has the ability to hear from God, but many people miss God or don't quite hear His voice that clearly because people are too caught up in their lifestyle or their own opinion or other people's opinions. Like it says in Matthew 6:33, seek Him first and all else will be added on to you. By spending time with Him, setting the time aside, getting into His Word, just being quiet sometimes and just hearing for His voice or His directions is one of the most, it is the best thing that you could absolutely do for your life. My best advice right now, if you can, after this video, take some time alone, speak with Him. Let Him know that you want a deeper relationship with Him. Practice making time for God. Like I say all the time, if you have time for TikTok, if you have time for Facebook, if you have time for video games, or anything that requires being on the phone or electronic or isn't serving your family, your church, your job, if you're just hanging around, you have time for God. The more time you spend with God, the more clearer His voice becomes. The less time you spend with God, the more opinions roll through your mind and the more opinions of others start to take form in your brain. Remember, God desires a relationship with you. He's a gentleman. He would never force a relationship and He would never force you to love Him. I hope this has blessed y'all. And of course, remember to stay in your word, continue to pray, and walk with Jesus throughout the day. Till the next time.